Hey, so I was originally not planning to do another video tonight, but I got 15 seconds of fame from r/196, which I love that subreddit, and I'd be a fool not to follow it up. So I present to you Elon Susk. Now, the fact that the bourgeois are total pieces of shit is probably not news to most people on the leftist spectrum, but Elon Musk is unusually awful, and I use my basic Googling skills and 5 or 10 minutes of Wikipedia research to elucidate this fact with this hard hitting investigative journalism. So, Elon Musk sucks massively. We all know billionaires suck. They exploit thousands and they profit off of the labor of others. There's not much to like there. And then they, write smug little editorials in magazines where they get nice photo shoots and talk about how they're innovating and are geniuses who are changing the landscape of auto industry or whatever. Musk, though, in particular, is horrible. So, where did he get his wealth originally? As I'm sure a lot of people on the left know, the vast majority of wealth is inherited. Elon Musk is no exception. His father owned a substantial amount of property in South Africa, excuse me, where he did a lot of quote unquote investing in emerald mines and property construction. The end result of which was, quote, so much money he would struggle to close the safe, at least according to a Rolling Stones article. According to Snopes, this is probably true, although Musk has repeatedly denied the source of his wealth. It makes a lot of sense that he found that startup capital from just inheritance. You don't exactly create multi-million dollar companies out of nowhere for the most part. He also personally has a pretty huge history of racism himself. And look, I mean, I don't want to get all id pole about it, but it's a bad fucking look if your parents made a lot of their money in pre-apartheid sub-Saharan Africa, and then you are a dick to black employees for no discernible reason. According to an ex-employee, the N-word was thrown around quite a lot on the factory floor, and the Tesla auto factories are generally like have a pre-civil rights era vibe in terms of the level of racial discrimination. Fucked up. He also sent out a company email that said, "You should not quote be a huge jerk to members of a historically less represented group." But then he followed that up with, if someone is a jerk to you, though, and sincerely apologizes, it's important for you to be thick skinned and accept that apology. However, a lot of the issues at his factories go beyond the need for thick skin, beyond being treated like shit and prone to be the victims of his random spouts of anger at his employees. There's a shit ton of racism at Tesla factories. Add to that the fact that he has spread lies about COVID until he himself got it, and has generally been glad handing, self congratulatory piece of shit for things that, frankly, engineers accomplished, not him. Makes him an all around very hateable person, all the more so because there's a certain subsection of Reddit that likes him. It's a very cringy subsection of Reddit. I do own Dogecoin, full disclosure, but I think the Elon Musk worshippers are so obnoxious and just toxic. They don't get anything from defending him, and he would clearly spit in their faces. He does not give a flying fuck about normal people, about individual lives. In fact, that's part of the testimony here on Snopes is that much like Musk, or excuse me, the Zuck, he has this clear attitude of sort of malignant sociopathy or narcissism where he does not give a shit about other people's individuality. Also, on a weirdly like specific sexist note, he flipped out at his girlfriend for having peach fuzz, which is normal. He railed at her about like how she looked like a baboon and she should shave, etc., etc. To which why does she have it? To which he replied, "I'm a mammal," which is a pretty sick burn for her. Good for her. Not good for her that she was dating Musk. But I admit, the chance to marry that guy and then divorce him, ooh, that would redistribute some wealth. So I can't begrudge her that. Anyway, yeah, he's an immense asshole who has benefited from borderline slavery and probably actual chattel slavery, if the recent lawsuits about rare earth minerals are to be believed, and frankly, I don't see why they wouldn't be. Yeah, he is essentially a slaver who people treat as though he is an engineering genius who will bring us the future. And it is telling how much of a difference a good PR team and a marketing budget can make to your image. The fact that this absolutely despicable man has somehow made himself sort of supervillain, Bond villain type character that people regard as actually charismatic for doing things like flaunting the SEC and acting as though rules don't apply to him. I think there's another story about how he hung up on a call regarding a lawsuit about one of his employees getting killed in a Tesla autopilot accident. He has this level of arrogance about him, at least according to his employees, which is just astonishing. He straight up didn't have the time to deal with another man's death as a result of his decisions, let alone the time to deal with all the deaths that have been caused by the misinformation that he personally has spread. He's a killer, he's a slaver, and he's an absolute piece of shit. The frustrating thing is he does successfully brand himself as being kind of hip and cool and even a little bit like subversive. I'm not going to say revolutionary because that would downright taint the term, but his disdain for norms and his submersion in internet culture and memes and cat girls and all that stuff have made him popular with a segment of the internet. And I can't deny that that image is appealing. It's just a shame the person underneath it is such a massive pile of trash. Bourgeois trash. It's about time we start up the incinerator, right? The earth is getting hot. That line sounded cooler in my head, but you get the point. Elon Musk sucks. He fucking sucks, man. And it makes me sick, honestly, that we have to look up to people like this. Like that article after article is written about how he's defining the future. And not one of the engineers that actually work towards things like building a Tesla motor or producing his actual spaceflight shuttles or SpaceX shuttles. They never get these magazine covers. It's him. It's this disgusting slaver asshole who is clearly so full of himself he doesn't recognize other human beings as actual individual people. And the scientists who work for him, which, are privileged in their own way, I would say have done more to actually advance stuff like spaceflight or renewable cars than that piece of shit has, but just the nature of our system means he gets not just some, but all of their credit. All of it. It's gross. And he's the third richest man on the planet now, too. I can vetch on this YouTube channel all day long and half the night, and you bet your ass I will. But at the end of the day, it kind of doesn't make a difference, does it? He has so much money, he could probably not spend it in his whole lifetime if he tried. Especially not if his lifetime is as short as I hope it will be. But, yeah, it's just really gross and sad and kind of a shame. But hey, Minecraft in real life, am I right, guys? He let actual 10-year-olds experience Minecraft and in underprivileged countries. How nice of him. He got them to actually mine diamonds. Oh, God damn. Fucking hate Musk. Anyway, I sort of had more of a direction with that going in, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed my unfocused rambling on how much I hate that bourgeois piece of shit. Uh, yeah, yeah, bye.